Far beyond the solar system, in a vast chamber that shimmered with golden light, the leaders of the Galactic Council gathered. They were the rulers of countless worlds, species that had evolved over millions of years, each with powers and technology, far beyond what humans could imagine. Their shapes varied. Some had wings, some many eyes, some translucent skin. But all shared one trait, the belief that they understood the universe better than anyone else. For centuries, the Council had watched humanity from afar. At first, humans seemed small, fragile, and unremarkable. They had wars, pollution, and chaos on their planet, yet somehow they survived. They lived on a pale blue dot in a tiny solar system, far weaker than the great empires that surrounded them. But now something had changed. Reports arrived from the outer reaches of the solar system. Humans had launched multiple probes, built new space stations, and even tested a prototype faster-than-light ship. Their technology was crude by galactic standards, yet it grew faster than expected. The Council's monitors showed humans venturing farther, reaching planets that no one thought they could approach for decades. "Enough," said Councillor Varkas, a towering being with shimmering scales that reflected the chamber's golden light. "They are advancing too quickly. If we do not act, humans could disrupt the balance of the galaxy." Councillor Zelira, her body glowing with soft light, nodded. "I agree. Their unpredictability is dangerous. We have seen no species like this. Other civilizations obey, adapt, or fail. Humans are neither obedient nor predictable. They are chaotic, yet persistent. They do not fear failure." A murmur ran through the chamber. The idea that such a primitive species could rise so fast was troubling. Some council members believed humans were lucky, that they would stumble and destroy themselves. Others feared what humans might become if left unchecked. Councillor Varkas raised his hand, silencing the discussion. "We must act decisively. The Council has faced threats before. We controlled, guided, and sometimes contained other species. Humans will be no different. We will decide their place in the galaxy before they decide it for themselves." And so, the decree was made. Humans must be controlled. Measures would be taken to monitor their expansion, influence their technology, and limit their access to other star systems. The decision was final. On Earth, humans went about their daily lives completely unaware of the Galactic Council's discussions. Cities bustled with activity, rockets launched from various spaceports, and laboratories tested new experiments in propulsion and artificial intelligence. Humans were ambitious, always pushing boundaries, always dreaming of the stars. Captain Nari stood on the bridge of the starship Horizon, looking out at the endless sky. The Horizon was not the largest or fastest human ship, but it was the pride of its fleet. Nari had trained for years, and her crew respected her for courage, intelligence, and calm decision-making. Today, they were preparing for a test flight beyond the solar system, an experiment that could mark the beginning of humanity's real journey into the galaxy. "Are we ready for the jump, Lieutenant Caro?" Nari asked, her eyes scanning the star charts projected on the bridge. "Yes, Captain," Caro replied. "All systems nominal. Calculations verified. The FTL engines are ready." Nari nodded. Humans had been experimenting with faster-than-light travel for years. Their attempts were unpredictable, sometimes successful, sometimes catastrophic. But that unpredictability, the willingness to try, to fail, and to try again, was something humans excelled at. "Good," Nari said. "Prepare for jump. Let's see what's out there." Far from Earth, the first Council observation ships approached the solar system. They were enormous, sleek, and silent, moving faster than any human vessel could detect. Their mission was simple: watch, report, and, if necessary, enforce the Council's decree. The alien crews aboard these ships were confident. They had never encountered a species that could resist or challenge them. To them, humans were just another species to guide, perhaps restrain, but ultimately control. They laughed at human technology, calling it primitive, amusing, even naive. Yet as the observation ships hovered near Mars and Jupiter, their sensors detected something unexpected. Humans had already begun testing equipment far more advanced, than anyone predicted. Small, automated ships moved at incredible speeds. Probes entered deep space with communication links that should have failed, yet worked perfectly. "What is this?" asked a young observer, its voice crackling through. "The ship's translation system. Their engines, and they are functioning outside expected parameters." Counselor Varkas, observing through a central link, frowned. "Curious. Humans are always pushing limits. We must increase our monitoring, send emissaries, make contact. Ensure they understand their place in the galaxy." Back on the horizon, Nari and her crew prepared for their first jump beyond the solar system. The engines hummed, the stars outside the window stretched into long streaks of light, and the vast emptiness of space seemed to beckon them. "Engage jump drive," Nari commanded. The ship shuddered as it disappeared from normal space, entering the faster-than-light dimension humans called the slipstream. Stars blurred and bent, and for a moment the universe seemed like a ribbon of light wrapping around the ship. "Coordinates locked," Caro said. "We are on course to Alpha Centauri. Estimated arrival, 8 hours." Nari allowed herself a small smile. Humans had always been explorers, curious and brave. Every step into the unknown carried risk, yet they pressed on. That courage, that determination, was something even the Council could not easily suppress. Meanwhile, the Council debated the next steps. "If humans reach Alpha Centauri, they will inevitably meet other species," said Counselor Zelira. "Their curiosity will spread. Their influence may inspire others. We cannot allow them to grow unchecked." Varkas's scales shimmered as he responded. "Then we escalate. Observation is no longer enough. Intervention is required. We will send a fleet to guide them, or restrain them if necessary." Unseen by the Council, a small Council ship moved closer to Earth, cloaked in invisible energy. Its mission was to subtly influence human decision-making, guide them away from risky ventures and observe reactions. Yet humans were unpredictable. Already, Captain Nari's team had encountered minor anomalies in space, strange readings that seemed to come from nowhere. The crew attributed them to natural phenomena, unaware they were already in the eyes of the Council. As the horizon approached Alpha Centauri, Nari stood on the observation deck looking at the first stars outside the solar system she would ever see up close. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "So vast, so full of possibilities." Her words carried more than awe. They carried the essence of humanity. Humans did not just survive. They dreamed. They did not just explore. They imagined. And it was that imagination, that courage, that would soon shake the galaxy. Far away, the Council watched. They believed. They were in control, that humans were a problem to manage. They did not yet understand that humanity's greatest strength was unpredictability. Humans did not follow rules. They made them. Humans did not fear danger. They embraced it. And humans were about to show the galaxy why they should never be underestimated. The chamber of the Council glowed, and Varkas's voice echoed across the stars. "Prepare the fleets. Humanity must be controlled. Humanity must be guided. Humanity must be stopped, if necessary." Yet, in a small human ship, light years away, Captain Nari's eyes shone with determination. "Let's see what's out there," she said. "Let's see what humans can do." The first step of humanity's journey into the galaxy had begun, and nothing, not even the mighty Galactic Council, could predict what would come next. The horizon drifted quietly in the light of distant stars, the engines humming softly as it approached the Alpha Centauri system. Captain Nari stood at the observation deck, staring at the bright glow of the twin stars ahead. The crew was tense yet excited. This was humanity's first journey beyond the familiar reaches of their own solar system. "What do we know about this system, Lieutenant Caro?" Nari asked, keeping her voice calm but alert. Caro glanced at the holographic star maps. Mostly planets and small moons. Nothing inhabited, or at least nothing we've detected. But there are anomalies in the gravitational field that don't match natural patterns. They could be a source of energy or something else. Before Nari could respond, the ship's sensors picked up something unusual. A large object, moving with deliberate speed, approached from the far side of the system. Its size was immense, far larger than any human ship could be. Its design was strange and elegant, with surfaces that reflected starlight in dazzling patterns. "Unknown vessel detected," Caro reported. "It's huge, and it's moving directly toward us." Nari's heart raced. "Open communications. Let's see who it is." The crew watched the screen as a shimmering figure appeared. It was not a human, not anything the crew had seen before. Its form constantly shifted, translucent and shimmering like liquid light. Its voice resonated directly in their minds. "Humans," it said. "We are emissaries from the Galactic Council. You are trespassing into regions beyond your permission. You must halt your expansion until the Council has reviewed your activities." Nari took a deep breath. "We are explorers. We seek knowledge, not conflict. We mean no harm to anyone." The emissary tilted as if studying her words. "Your technology is primitive. Your understanding of the galaxy is limited, yet your boldness is remarkable. The Council finds your actions concerning. You will comply with our instructions, or face consequences," Caro whispered. "Captain, they're warning us. This is serious." Nari clenched her jaw. "Prepare evasive maneuvers. Let's make sure we can leave if necessary, but keep communications open. I want to understand them." The horizon carefully moved, following the alien vessel's approach. The crew was anxious, but also curious. These were beings from a civilization far older and more advanced than humanity, yet they were witnessing something they did not understand. Humans. The emissary's form shimmered again. "Why do you resist guidance? Why do you not obey the Council?" Nari stood tall. "We do not resist without reason. We are capable of learning, of making decisions. We do not need control. We seek cooperation, not submission." The alien paused. "No species has ever spoken to us this way. No species has questioned the Council. You are different." For a moment, silence filled the space between them. Then the emissary said, "Your curiosity is dangerous. Your fearlessness is alarming. But perhaps there is potential. We will observe you further. Do not leave this system." With that, the alien vessel pulled back slightly, hovering in a distant orbit around Alpha Centauri A. Nari and her crew exhaled, feeling the tension in their shoulders ease slightly, but they knew this was only the beginning. Back on Earth, scientists monitored the horizon signals as they reached the outer system. News of the first contact spread rapidly. Governments and agencies debated what it meant for humanity's place in the galaxy. Some were fearful, others excited. Humanity had always faced challenges, and this was just another one, but unlike any before. Captain Nari gathered her crew for a meeting. "We've met beings far older and stronger than us," she said. "They are watching, trying to control us. But we've also shown them that humans are not easily led. That is our strength. We must be careful, but we must also continue to explore. That is who we are." Lieutenant Caro nodded. "Their technology is far beyond ours. They could destroy us easily, but they hesitate. They are observing us, not attacking. That hesitation, it is something we can learn from." Nari smiled slightly. "Exactly. Humans survive not because we are the strongest, but because we are adaptable. We learn, we improvise, we push forward. That is what makes us human." Meanwhile, in the council chamber, tension ran high. The emissary had returned with a report. Captain Nari and her crew did not obey, the emissary reported. "They are clever, unpredictable, and courageous. I do not believe they will submit to control." Councillor Varkas's scales shimmered. Angrily, "They must be controlled. We cannot allow such a primitive species to expand unchecked." Councillor Zelira shook her glowing form. "Varkas, they are not just clever. They are unique. No species in the galaxy has ever responded with such boldness and intelligence at such a young stage of development. Perhaps we have underestimated them. Varkus's voice was firm. Underestimation is dangerous. We act now, or we risk future chaos. Send more ships. Observe. Interfere if necessary. Humanity cannot be allowed to grow freely. Back in Alpha Centauri, the Horizon continued its survey of nearby planets. The alien emissary followed at a distance, invisible to human sensors. Nari and her crew discovered moons with strange energy readings, asteroids with rare minerals, and clouds of particles that seemed to bend light unnaturally. Every discovery amazed the crew, but also raised questions about the alien presence. "How are they watching us without detection?" Caro asked. "I don't know," Nari replied. "But it doesn't matter yet. We need to focus on exploration. Observation is natural. We can't let fear control our actions." Despite the tension, humans acted with creativity and courage. They tested new instruments, repaired damaged probes, and even sent small automated drones into regions where the FAO emissary might be monitoring. Each time, the drones returned with new information, revealing that humans were willing to take risks that no other species would. The alien emissary observed these actions carefully. They are persistent. They do not fear danger. They do not hesitate. Every step they take is calculated yet unpredictable. How do they do this? Days passed and the emissary realized something extraordinary. Humans were not just surviving, they were thriving. They adapted to obstacles, solved problems quickly, and even used the Council's own methods of observation against them. When a probe malfunctioned, humans repaired it using parts from unrelated systems. When an anomaly in the slipstream appeared, they navigated it without panic. The emissary reported back to the Council. These humans, they are not like other species. Their strength is not in power or technology. Their strength is in adaptability, creativity, and unity. They inspire. Counselor Zelira's glow intensified. Perhaps we were wrong. Perhaps humanity is a species to study, to learn from, not to control. Varkus's scales dulled with frustration. No, they cannot be allowed to continue unchecked. We will escalate if necessary. We will ensure humanity knows its limits. But, even as Varkus spoke, a small doubt began to grow in the minds of some council members. Could a primitive young species truly possess something greater than technology or raw power? Something more profound? On the horizon, Captain Nari sensed the weight of being humanity's first ambassadors. She knew the galaxy would test them, judge them, and perhaps even fear them. Yet she also knew humans had a unique gift. "Humanity survives because we do not give up," she said to her crew. "We face danger, we explore, and we create solutions when none seem possible. That is what sets us apart. And that is why, no matter what the Council thinks, we will continue forward." The crew nodded, inspired. Each member understood that this journey was more than exploration. It was a test of humanity itself. They were no longer just humans in space. They were the face of Earth, the bearers of a species that could not be easily measured or controlled. Far away, the alien emissary continued to observe. It recorded everything. Every decision, every risk, every act of courage. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, it began to see humans not as a species to guide, but as a species to respect. The stars of Alpha Centauri shone brightly, reflecting off the horizon's hull. Humanity's first contact with the Galactic Council had begun, not with submission, not with fear, but with courage, curiosity, and ingenuity. And it was clear that humans were only beginning to show the galaxy what they were capable of. The Horizon had been in the Alpha Centauri system for several days. Captain Nari and her crew explored strange moons, unusual asteroids, and gas clouds that shimmered with unexplainable colors. Each discovery reminded them how vast and mysterious the galaxy was. But they were not alone. The alien emissary continued to observe, maintaining a careful distance. Its presence was invisible to human sensors, yet its attention was constant. It watched as humans solved problems, repaired equipment, and adapted to the environment. Every action seemed to defy what the emissary expected from such a primitive species. "They are remarkable," the emissary reported back to the Galactic Council. "Their decisions are unpredictable yet effective. Their creativity is unmatched. They find solutions we never anticipated." Councillor Varkas's scales flickered angrily. "Enough of this praise. They must be controlled. We will not allow a species with such unpredictability to continue expanding. Prepare intervention fleets, guide them or restrain them if necessary." Councillor Zelira, glowing softly, interjected, "Perhaps we should study them further. There is something unusual about humans. They may be more than just a species to control. They may be an example." Varkas snapped, "Study them from afar, yes, but do not underestimate them. Intervention will occur. We cannot risk their growth." Back on the horizon, the crew detected anomalies near a nearby asteroid belt. Strange energy readings interfered with their instruments. Caro looked at the readings with concern. "Captain, these fluctuations are unusual. They're affecting navigation. Could it be a natural phenomenon?" "Possibly," Nari said. "But stay alert. Our sensors may not be detecting everything. Let's proceed carefully." As the crew moved closer to investigate, the anomalies intensified. The Horizon's engines flickered, instruments glitched, and for a brief moment, the ship's systems seemed to hesitate. Nari felt a familiar tension in her chest. Something was watching. Suddenly, a transmission appeared on the main screen. The alien emissary, shimmering with light, projected its form more clearly than before. "Humans," it said, "your presence is noted. You are entering restricted areas. Turn back or suffer consequences." Nari held her ground. "We are explorers. We have detected something unusual here and wish to study it. We do not seek conflict." The emissary tilted its form, studying them. "Your persistence is dangerous. You are defying the Council. You must cease your actions." Nari's hands tightened on the railing of the bridge. "We do not fear discovery. We learn from it. If this is dangerous, we will face it together, with knowledge and preparation. That is what humans do." As the emissary watched, Nari made a decision that surprised even her crew. She ordered the Horizon closer to the energy. Anomalies. Instruments registered extreme interference, yet humans adapted. They modified navigation algorithms, rerouted power to critical systems, and sent autonomous probes into the anomaly to gather data. The emissary observed silently, its form flickering with what might have been curiosity. No species had ever willingly approached danger like this. Humans did not panic. They analyzed, improvised, and solved problems with an ingenuity that defied prediction. The humans, they are not afraid, the emissary reported. They do not react as expected. Their solutions are creative. They continue forward despite risk. I cannot predict their next actions. The Council listened with growing unease. They are clever, Zelira said, and persistent. Perhaps there is something we can learn from them. Varkas growled. Learning will not stop them. We must intervene. Deploy a warning fleet. If they continue, we enforce control. Meanwhile, on the horizon, the anomaly revealed itself to be a swirling cluster of rare energy particles. They were unlike anything humans had ever encountered. Some instruments suggested it could be harnessed as a power source. Others warned of instability. Caro turned to Nari. If we can collect this energy safely, it could change human technology forever. But it's risky. Nari smiled, the familiar spark of excitement lighting her eyes. We have faced risks before. Lieutenant, prepare the drones. Let's see what we can learn. The crew worked efficiently, sending drones into the heart of the energy cluster. Systems fluctuated, warnings blared, yet humans adapted. They recalibrated sensors on the fly, reinforced drone shields, and retrieved samples successfully. The emissary could not hide its surprise. No species has ever done this. No species has navigated danger with such intelligence and courage. Humans, they break all rules. They adapt. They overcome. Back in the council chamber, Varkas slammed a clawed hand against the console. Enough. They are defying us at every turn. Prepare the fleets for enforcement. We cannot allow them to continue unchecked. Zalira, however, hesitated. Varkas, watch. Their persistence, creativity, and unity. They may be unlike any species we have known. Perhaps they are not a problem, but a force for progress. Varkas hissed. Progress is irrelevant if it cannot be controlled. Humans will learn limits, whether willingly or by force. On the horizon, humans were unaware of the Council's internal debates. They focused on discovery, adapting to each challenge the galaxy presented. The drones returned with energy samples, and the crew began analyzing them. Each discovery sparked ideas, each challenge brought innovation. Captain, Caro said, examining the data, this energy could enhance propulsion systems beyond anything we have. If we can stabilize it, human travel across the stars will advance decades in a single year. Nari nodded. Then we stabilize it. But carefully. Safety first. Remember, exploration is our goal, not recklessness. Yet, even as they worked, the emissary remained nearby. It studied, recorded, and silently, it began to question everything it knew about life. Humans did not follow predictable patterns. They did not rely on fear or caution alone. They combined intellect, courage, and creativity in ways no species had ever done. They inspire, the emissary admitted to the Council. Their actions defy expectation. Their unity and innovation, it is extraordinary. Perhaps humans are exceptional. The Horizon collected the energy, studied it, and prepared to return to Earth with their findings. They had faced danger, defied rules, and solved problems that no one had anticipated. Humanity had broken the boundaries the Council had hoped to impose. Nari looked at her crew, pride in her eyes. We've done more than explore. We've shown what humans can do when faced with the unknown. We've broken rules, yes, but not recklessly. We've used our minds, our teamwork, and our courage. That is what makes us human. The crew smiled, understanding their place in the larger story. They were not just explorers. They were the face of a species that could not be measured, predicted, or controlled. Back on the Council, Varkas and Zalira argued fiercely. They are dangerous, Varkas said. They do not obey. They do not fear. Intervention is necessary. They are unique, Zalira countered. No species has ever faced danger like this. No species has overcome obstacles with such creativity and unity. Perhaps they are not a threat, they may be a model for growth, for excellence, Varkas growled. But deep inside he could not deny the truth. Humans were different. They did not fit into the predictable patterns the Council had known for eons. And that difference terrified and fascinated them at the same time. As the Horizon prepared to leave Alpha Centauri, the emissary made one final observation. Humans, it said softly, you are unlike anything the galaxy has known. Your strength is not in weapons, nor in numbers, nor in technology alone. Your strength is your mind, your courage, your will to overcome the impossible. You are extraordinary. Nari felt a shiver run down her spine. She did not fully understand the emissary's words, but she sensed respect, even awe. For the first time, humans were no longer invisible to the galaxy. They were being noticed, studied, and recognized. The journey back to Earth would be long, but the crew of the Horizon felt a new confidence. Humans had broken the rules, faced danger, and shown that they were not a species to be contained. The galaxy had begun to take notice, and soon, the true story of humanity's courage and ingenuity would spread far beyond the solar system. For Captain Nari and her crew, the message was clear. Humanity's journey had only begun, and nothing, not even the mighty Galactic Council, would be able to predict what humans could accomplish next. Back on Earth, humanity was abuzz with excitement. The news of the Horizon's discoveries and first contact with the Galactic Council had spread quickly. Scientists, engineers, and explorers worked day and night, trying to understand the energy, samples brought from Alpha Centauri, and the technology insights shared by the crew. Humanity had always faced challenges, but now the stakes were higher than ever. The galaxy itself had noticed them. Captain Nari and her crew were in orbit around Earth, preparing for debriefings and scientific reports. Yet despite the celebration, Nari felt a growing tension. They were no longer just explorers, they were representatives of a species the galaxy had underestimated. And she knew the Council would act. Far beyond the solar system, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Humans continued to expand, Councillor Varkas growled, his scales flickering angrily. Their technology is advancing faster than predicted. They defy every warning we send. Observation is no longer sufficient. We must intervene. Councillor Zalira's glow pulsed softly as she spoke. Varkas, perhaps you underestimate them. Their adaptability, their creativity, and their courage. These traits are unlike any species we have known. Intervention may provoke them rather than control them. Varkas hissed. We cannot risk inspiration. They will influence other species. We must act. Prepare fleets. Send a clear message. Humanity must learn limits. The Council's fleets assembled silently, immense vessels bristling with advanced weapons and surveillance systems. Cloaked ships moved into positions around the solar system, designed to block Earth's expansion into space. On board, commanders discussed strategy with cold efficiency, confident that no primitive species could resist them. Meanwhile, Captain Nari and the Horizon crew detected unusual readings in orbit. Sensors showed massive energy fluctuations approaching. From the outer system, fleets of ships unlike anything humans had ever seen. Captain, I don't think these are natural, Lieutenant Caro said, her voice tense. They're huge and moving toward us. Nari's jaw tightened. All right, everyone, stay calm. We expected contact, but this is different. They are trying to enforce the Council's will. We need to prepare for anything, but we will not panic. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and act together. The Horizon's crew immediately went to work. Shields were reinforced, engines calibrated, and defensive drones readied. Every member knew that the coming encounter would test them, not only as explorers but as representatives of humanity itself. As the Council's fleet reached the outskirts of the solar system, they attempted a show of power. Massive ships moved into position, projecting energy fields meant to intimidate and control. Earth-based systems detected interference, and communication signals from human satellites were temporarily jammed. Nari remained calm. We expected this, she said to her crew. Prepare countermeasures. This is not the first time humans have faced overwhelming odds. Stay focused. Caro looked at her screens. The fleet is larger than anything we imagined. Their technology is advanced, but their tactics are predictable. They assume we will be afraid, that we will retreat. Nari's eyes gleamed. Then let's show them why humans are unpredictable. Using the energy samples from Alpha Centauri, humans devised clever countermeasures. They rerouted power to generate decoy signals, making it appear that the Horizon had multiplied into dozens of ships. They used drone swarms to interfere with enemy sensors and navigated through asteroid fields in ways that larger, less agile ships could not follow. Every move was calculated, but it seemed chaotic to the Council's fleet. The alien commanders grew frustrated. They should not be able to maneuver like this, one said. They are a primitive species. They are different, another admitted. Their responses are not logical yet effective. They adapt at speeds we cannot anticipate. Councillor Varkas watched the reports with growing anger. Enough. Humanity must learn control. Escalate. Disable their ships if necessary. Despite the overwhelming fleet, humans continued to surprise. Captain Nari led the Horizon and its supporting drones through unpredictable maneuvers, striking at weak points in the Council's formation. They used the asteroid belts to their advantage, created electromagnetic interference to disrupt targeting systems, and even adapted Council observation devices to learn about enemy tactics. The Council had assumed fear would stop humans. It had assumed that technology alone could dominate. But humans did not fear. They adapted. They did not rely on brute force. They relied on intelligence, teamwork, and creativity. The alien emissary that had first contacted humans now observed with fascination. "They are extraordinary," it reported. "No species has ever combined strategy, courage, and innovation in such a way. They do not fight like others. They think differently." Back on Earth, humans coordinated efforts like never before. Every nation contributed to defense systems. Every scientist offered solutions, and civilians helped in countless ways, from communication relays to emergency simulations. Humanity had never been so united. Captain Nari reflected on what this meant. "The Council thinks strength is technology, but our strength is people, our strength is unity. They underestimate what humans can do when we work together." Her crew nodded. Each understood that this was more than survival. It was proof that humanity could stand against forces far larger and stronger, without losing their courage or creativity. As the encounter continued, a critical breakthrough occurred. Caro discovered a pattern in the Council fleet's maneuvers, predictable sequences based on assumed logic. Using this knowledge, Nari devised a plan. Small teams of drones and ships created diversions, while the horizon slipped through weak points, disabling key ships' targeting systems without destroying them. The Council fleet faltered. Their formations broke. The aliens could not comprehend how a primitive species had outmaneuvered them so quickly. Reports to the Council highlighted human ingenuity and unpredictability. "They are learning faster than we anticipated," Salira admitted. "Perhaps they are not just adaptable. Perhaps they are exceptional." Varkas growled. "Exceptional or not, they must be stopped. Prepare the next phase." But humans had already gained an advantage the Council had not considered. Inspiration. Observing humans, some alien species within the fleets began to question orders. They saw how humans acted, not with fear, not with blind obedience, but with courage, unity, and innovation. Whispers of admiration passed between crews. Some questioned whether controlling humanity was right. Captain Nari noticed minor changes in the Council ship's behavior. They hesitated, scanning humans instead of attacking directly. It was subtle, but it was a weakness humans could exploit. "We're not just fighting technology," Nari said. "We're showing them who we are. Humans do not submit. Humans do not yield. We survive, we adapt, and we grow stronger together." After days of careful maneuvers, human forces had neutralized key systems in the Council fleet without causing destruction. They had demonstrated skill, strategy, and courage. The Council could no longer treat humans as a simple species to control. The alien emissary, observing silently, recorded the events. Its report to the Council was clear. Humans are not just clever. They are bold, resourceful, and united. No species has ever responded to intervention like this. They are extraordinary. Counselor Zelira nodded. "Perhaps we must reconsider. Humanity is not a species to control. They may be a species to respect, even learn from." Varkas's anger flared, but even he could not deny the truth. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds and prevailed, not through weapons or numbers, but through creativity, courage, and unity. As the horizon prepared to return to Earth, Captain Nari addressed her crew. "We have done more than survive," she said. "We have shown that humans are not a species to be underestimated. We have turned fear into courage, chaos into strategy, and danger into opportunity. The galaxy has noticed us, and they will remember what we can do." The crew smiled, proud and inspired. Every member knew that this was a turning point. Humanity had broken through expectations, showing the galaxy that even a young, primitive species could challenge the strongest powers with intelligence and unity. Far away, the Council convened once more. Opinions were divided. Some saw humans as a threat, others as an inspiration. But one fact was undeniable. Humans had proven that they could not be easily controlled, predicted, or dismissed. Captain Nari's voice echoed across the bridge of the horizon. This is only the beginning. The galaxy will learn what humans are capable of, and we will keep exploring, keep learning, and keep showing the universe the best of what humanity can do. And so, humanity's defiance, creativity, and courage had forced the Council to rethink their assumptions. The galaxy had begun to recognize that humans were extraordinary, and that recognition would change everything. The horizon returned to Earth with a sense of triumph, yet Captain Nari knew that the challenge was far from over. Humanity had faced the Galactic Council's fleets and shown courage, intelligence, and adaptability, but the galaxy remained uncertain about this young species. The Council still debated control, and many alien civilizations watched closely, wondering if humans were a threat or something extraordinary. On Earth, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to understand the energy, samples, and technology insights brought back by the horizon. With each new breakthrough, humanity advanced faster than ever. Communications satellites improved, propulsion systems evolved, and defensive technologies grew. Humans had not just survived, they had learned, adapted, and transformed their capabilities. In record time, Councillor Varkas convened the Galactic Council once more. Humans continue to defy us, he growled. They expand, innovate, and influence others. They are not controllable. Every attempt has failed. We must take decisive action. Councillor Zelira's soft glow pulsed as she spoke. Varkas, stop for a moment. Look at what they have done. They did not fight like other species. They solved problems, adapted to danger, and inspired others, including species within our own fleets. Perhaps they are not a threat. They may be a gift, Varkas hissed. A gift? Their unpredictability is dangerous. If they continue, they could disrupt the balance of the galaxy. Zelira shook her head. Or they could raise the galaxy to a new level. Humans are extraordinary. The Council debated fiercely, divided between fear and admiration. Varkas could not accept the possibility that a primitive species had become remarkable, but even he could not ignore the reports. Humans had defeated fleets without large-scale violence, turned danger into opportunity, and unified not only themselves but others who witnessed their actions. On Earth, Captain Nari addressed the united nations and representatives from all nations. Humanity has faced forces far beyond our expectations, she said. We have survived, we have learned, and we have shown courage. But the galaxy is watching. We must continue to explore, to cooperate, and to demonstrate that humans can create, inspire, and lead without destruction. Her words spread across Earth like wildfire. Humans had always been explorers, dreamers, and innovators. Now they were recognized as a species that could stand alongside the greatest civilizations in the galaxy. The Council decided to send emissaries once more, but this time, not as enforcers, but as observers invited to witness humanity's achievements. Captain Nari and her crew prepared a demonstration of human ingenuity, cooperation, and potential. The destination was an exoplanet on the edge of the Orion Arm, a barren world with harsh terrain and no atmosphere suitable for humans. Yet humans saw opportunity. Scientists, engineers, and astronauts from Earth worked together to terraform the planet, creating habitats, water supplies, and energy systems. Drones and robots transformed the rocky surface into fields of green, and advanced energy systems powered human equipment and settlements. The Council's emissaries watched from orbit, their eyes widening. They had expected humans to be dangerous, impulsive, and chaotic. Instead, they witnessed a species that collaborated across cultures, solved impossible problems, and turned a lifeless world into a thriving, sustainable environment. Captain Nari guided the emissaries through the settlement. This is what humans do, she said. We explore. We face challenges and adapt. We do not seek conflict. We seek solutions. Our strength is our creativity, courage, and unity. That is what makes humanity extraordinary. The alien observers recorded everything silently, unable to hide their awe. They had never seen a species accomplish so much with so little, nor demonstrate such intelligence and foresight. One of the emissaries spoke, its voice resonating like liquid crystal. "We underestimated you. Humanity, your courage, innovation, and unity surpass expectations. You are not a species to control. You are a species to respect and learn from." Nari nodded. "We are not perfect. We have flaws, but we have something greater. The ability to work together, to face the unknown, and to create solutions. That is the gift of humanity." Meanwhile, the council continued to observe from afar. Reports flooded in. Humans had transformed a barren world into a thriving environment, shared knowledge with alien species willing to cooperate, and displayed creativity in ways no other civilization had matched. Counselor Zelira spoke softly. "Varkas, can you not see? Humanity is not a threat in the way you feared. They are a beacon. Their courage, ingenuity, and unity inspire, not dominate. We underestimated them because we judged them by our rules. Humans create their own rules and succeed," Varkas hissed, struggling against the realization. "Extraordinary. Yes. But what if their unpredictability spreads? What if they influence others in ways we cannot control?" Zelira smiled faintly. "Then the galaxy will grow stronger. Humans show that power lies not just in weapons or technology, but in creativity, courage, and cooperation. They are a species to respect, not fear." Even Varkas could not deny the evidence. Humanity had proven their worth through ingenuity and unity, without large-scale destruction or domination. On the exoplanet, humans continued their work. Children laughed as they explored safe areas, robots tended to energy plants, and scientists tested new systems for sustainability. Humanity had not only survived, they had thrived in the face of challenges far beyond their original expectations. Captain Nari looked at the growing settlements and smiled. "We've shown them what humans can do, not through force, not through fear, but through courage, creativity, and unity. That is our greatest strength." Her crew nodded, proud of what they had accomplished. They had faced the might of the Galactic Council, adapted to impossible challenges, and shown that humans were not a species to be underestimated. Back in the council chamber, the debate had shifted. The evidence was undeniable. Humans had transformed. A barren planet demonstrated leadership, inspired cooperation, and solved problems no one else could. The council members could no longer treat humanity as a species to control. Zelira addressed the chamber. "The humans have shown us something remarkable. They do not fight through domination. They fight through creativity. They do not rule through fear. They lead through cooperation. Perhaps humanity can teach the galaxy as much as the galaxy can teach them." Varkas remained silent, his scales dimming. He could not deny the truth. Humans were extraordinary. They had faced impossible odds, defied expectations, and shown the power of courage, ingenuity, and unity. Captain Nari addressed the emissaries once more. "We do not seek to dominate, to conquer, or to control. We seek knowledge, cooperation, and exploration. Humans will continue to learn, to grow, and to inspire. That is our place in the galaxy." The emissaries recorded her words, their forms shimmering with respect. "We will report to the council. Humanity is exceptional. We underestimated them, and we were wrong." The council received the report and finally accepted what could not be denied. Humanity was not a species to control, restrict, or fear. They were a species to respect, to learn from, and to include in the galaxy's future. Captain Nari returned to Earth with her crew, greeted as heroes. Humanity had taken its first steps into the wider galaxy, not as subjects, but as equals. The Horizon's journey had proven that courage, creativity, and unity were stronger than fear, stronger than intimidation, and stronger than control. Humans had shown that even a young, seemingly primitive species could inspire awe in the oldest and most powerful civilizations. They had transformed the galaxy's perception of what a species could achieve, and they had done it not through dominance, but through ingenuity, courage, and collaboration. The stars above Earth shone brighter than ever, reflecting the promise of humanity's future. Captain Nari looked up, her eyes full of hope and determination. "This is just the beginning," she said softly. "The galaxy will see what humans can do, and we will continue to rise, together." In that moment, humanity's place in the galaxy was clear. They were not just survivors. They were innovators, explorers, and inspirers, and the galaxy would never underestimate humans again.